What's up guys, it's Boomer Anderson here, health strategist to high-performing professionals and founder of Decoding Superhuman. Now I'm so glad you're here with me today on this beautiful sunny day here in Amsterdam. We don't get many of these, especially in fall. I'm not here to talk about sunlight though. I want to talk a little bit about sleep, specifically why you need to invest in sleep for higher levels of performance. Now I was one of those people that used to say that sleep is the cousin of death. For 10 years, I would get 4 to 6 hours of sleep per night. I would brag about it. The lack of sleep was a badge of honor. Now it turns out, I may have actually been pushing myself closer and closer to death's door than I really wanted to. Now, why do we sleep? From an evolutionary perspective, we did not select for short sleep. It turns out that if you get less than 6 hours of sleep per night, you shorten something that is called a telomere. We'll talk a little bit about telomeres later, but the key takeaway there is that less than 6 hours of sleep a night is not so good. So why do we sleep? Is it to assimilate all of this information that we're learning throughout the day? Yeah, that's absolutely part of it. But we also know that the body needs a restorative period. It's a time period for our organs to go through a maintenance cycle. But what about our brain? How exactly does our brain go through that maintenance cycle? Because we know, after all, that the brain is extremely active. It's 2% of our body weight and represents over 20% of our metabolism. We know throughout the day that as our cells are active, they produce byproducts, and in our brain, those byproducts look something like adenosine. Adenosine gathers all over your brain and makes you feel tired throughout the day. And as you stay up longer and longer, you build up a protein called amyloid beta. Now, amyloid beta has correlations with Alzheimer's disease. So how does our brain actually clear this out? Well, we have something called the Glymphatic System, and we'll put a link below here for Dr. Jeffrey Illiff's TED Talk on the Glymphatic System. But the Glymphatic System was only discovered a couple of years ago. Now, before I get into that, let's discuss what exactly our lymphatic system is. If you look at our lymphatic system, it's a series of vessels all over our body that help us detoxify ourselves. And if I were to map that system for you, it would be everywhere, except for one place, your brain. And so how does our brain actually clear up all the waste products that it builds out throughout the day? Well, it turns out that our brain is separated from the rest of our body by something that's called the blood-brain barrier. Now, inside that barrier is something called cerebral spinal fluid. And while we are awake, the cerebral spinal fluid floats on the outside of our brain. So these waste products are continuing to build inside of our brain from our cells' activity. When we go to sleep, our glial cells shrink such that cerebral spinal fluid is able to enter into the brain and clear out these waste products for us. And what does that mean for you? It means that the sleep, or when you actually get sleep, and the longer sleep you get, the more refreshed you're going to feel, the higher performer you're going to be, the better focus you're going to have. Because the glymphatic system has been active while you're sleeping, clearing out all of those waste products for you. Now we know that sleep is individual. There are some people that are morning types, there are some people that are those night owls. We also know that the duration of sleep that you need is also individual. Are you one of those 2.5% of people that can get away with sleeping 6 hours a night? Maybe you are. But how do you find out? You only find out through your genetics. And if you're interested in learning more about how to individualize your sleep or any other aspects of your health, feel free to get in touch. We offer free 30-minute discovery calls to find out more about the Decoding Superhuman process and how we may be able to help you. I look forward to hearing from you, and have an epic day.